Yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chukwu Charles from Icon. We shall be discussing the living relationship between employer and employee. So, first of all, I want to explain what employer is and what employee is in a layman's understanding. For one thing, if you are someone that employs someone in a working place, this video is for you. If you are someone that is working for someone in any working place, this video is for you. I want to make something clear before I proceed to my video. You should know that this video is not meant for just Nigerian or Africa. The video is for everyone in the whole world. It's an international level. That's what I do. If you look at the book I have written so far, I wrote 99% of them in international level. So in case you want to know more about this very topic, you can visit my book on Amazon and get employment law to know more about it. But herein, I shall summarizing what the book is all about. So listen and keep it going. So number one, I want to say that once you apply as a worker in anywhere to work with, you should know there is an agreement that is establishing between you and that worker, not just in a private area, even in a government area. And one of the things you note that government workers has what is called security. And what do you mean by security? We mean security is that it saves people where they are working more than private areas. For instance, in government area, before you be sanctioned or before you be sacked, there are some procedures. It is very hard for you to be sacked, unlike private areas. In private areas, once you do anything, you'll be fired immediately. That's different. That's what we're talking about. Security means that you are secure for some extent. Security doesn't mean that you go there and be stealing or do criminalities. You can be jailed immediately. And once you are jailed, that particular government can never take you again, even after the prison, except if you are granted what is called state pardon. State pardon means you have been forgiven by the state, and it is very hard. Before you could get this, you must know something like president or the state governor. So that is the issue. So what I'm saying is that once you are employed in any working place, there is what is called agreement between you and that person. Once that agreement is legal, what do I mean by legal? That means it is legalized by law, it is not unconstitutional, it is not illegal, it is not illicit, as it is not against the law. That is what is meant once you hear something is legal or constitutional. So what am I saying? Once that agreement is in sequence or is inconsistent or it rhymes with what law says about it is legal. So what do you mean? Maybe you are told that you should be coming to work so time, and you should do this and do that. Those things are the agreement that's established between employer and employee during the time of employment. Then this time around, those things will be stated. Most times it is written on the paper. Sometimes they will tell you with your mouth. But most thing is that, do you agree? Once you agree on those things and start working, you are obliged, and it is your obligation for you to obey those things, provided that they are legal. That's the reason why I should know. When I was timing or naming the title of my topic, I said legal relationship between employer and employer. I didn't say relationship between employer and employer. I said legal. That legal means that it must be legal. It must not be illicit or illegal. So it must be in consistent with law that is in force, as in a current law, not past law. So what am I saying? Once those things are stated here, and you are sure of those things that are stated here, then you are obliged. Obliged means you are obligated. I mean you must obey those things. That is the law. This law I'm talking about is not just a Nigerian law, it's not just an American law, it's not just a South African law, it is an international level law I'm talking about. I'm citing the case of Aloysius versus Diamond Bank and the case of Chary versus State. I think two of them, one are Nigerian case, the other one international case. So what am I saying? This is a case that established the relationship or legal relationship between an employer and employee. So another thing I need to add is that once all these things are stated before the employment, you should always obey it, because if you don't obey it, if in a private sector, he or she or the company has the right to fire you at any time and nothing happens. But if you're in a government area, there is some procedures that has to be taken before you be fired in a government. But there's no way they don't fire anybody. At least I'm aware there's one university that fired one man during the time. It was just a petition he wrote. He was fired. So there's no way you cannot be fired. That's the most important thing. But know that once it is legal, once it's not a criminal offense you are sent to do, it is you are obliged to do what? To obey and do it. But another thing that, but the person that is sending you something that is contrary to that thing, you are not obliged to obey that, because it is contrary to what you were assigned to. Except in addition, because there's another thing. That's the reason why most guys or most people who are employing, they will always tell you that these are your work, and any other work that may be assigned to you, it is a reasonable statement. So that if they assign any other extra work to you, you are obliged to obey. So if all these things are stated, even if they assign any other work that is not those ones that has been mentioned ab initio or aforementioned, you will still obey and do it, except if it is against the law. So most of companies I'm seeing their agreement, their employment agreement, I always see at the end any other work that you may be assigned to do. That means it has not stopped from those particular ones they listed above or therein. There is other one they may ask you to do, and you are obliged to do it. Thank you for listening to my YouTube channel. I still remain true such as Affordum Lego Icon. God bless you. Have a nice day. Please subscribe, like, and comment.